Okay, many of you need this video, so I'm just going to spit it out and tell you, you're not going to call me to review your contract. You're probably not going to call any other attorney either. And for everyday simple things, that's probably not necessary. However, you need to read your own contracts before you sign them, please. You're the one who's signing it. It's not just a formality. It is a legal obligation, and you will be bound to those terms. You can't later on say, well, they made me sign it, or I didn't know what I was signing. So here are the things that you specifically need to look for in a contract before you sign it. And if you do not understand any of these basic parts of the contract, do not sign it until you get someone else to help you. The first thing that is in the contract is the parties, and that is usually identified at the very beginning of the contract and then at the end of the contract where the people sign. Is your name there? Have they spelled it correctly? Have they identified whether you are single or married? And who is the other party to the contract? Is it a company? Do you recognize the name of the company? Is that who you think you're making a contract with, or is it a person who's identified? So identify the parties. Make sure you understand who is joining into this contract, okay? The next part is, what is the subject matter of the contract? What is the contract about? Who is going to do what? And what is it specifically described? Is this for you to go into business together? Is this for one of you to buy something from the other? What is the subject of the contract? Make sure you understand exactly what you are going to have to do and what the other party is going to have to do, which brings me to the third part, which is when. When is anything going to happen? If it is so many days from a start date, is the start date sufficiently described so that you can look at a calendar and tell exactly when something is supposed to happen? It should not be nebulous or ambiguous. It should be very specific so that you can both be accountable to each other and that you know what day it's going to happen or under what conditions. So every single section of the contract that talks about when something is going to happen, you should understand it before you sign. Then finally, what is the penalty if someone does not do what they are supposed to do under the contract? Do you understand what rights you get or lose if you perform and the other side doesn't, or if they perform and you don't? Do you understand what those remedies means? Is there a liquidated damages clause? Is there a financial penalty? Is there some other right that will be given up or forfeited? Do you understand those? If you don't understand that, don't sign it. And then finally, the most important thing I can tell anyone, never sign a contract where there are any blanks. Every single place, if there is a place for something to be filled in, then it needs to be filled in before you sign, no matter what contract it is and no matter who it's with.